Trojan Sports Now.
Hello and welcome back to Trojan Sports Now. For this week's Trojan Profile, I'm joined by head coach of the men's golf team, Matt Terry. So, Coach, thanks so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
So, first off, you've been at Troy now 13 years. How has your time been at Troy, first off?
It's been fantastic. I've grown a lot as a person and a coach, and our family has grown since we've been here for 13 years, and it's been nice to call Troy home.
What made you want to become a golf coach?
When I came out of college, I had just a couple of goals. One, I wanted to try to play, and I did unsuccessfully. Thank goodness for my coaching career, and was fortunate enough to get a call and became an assistant coach at a junior college for an old friend. And when he retired, I was able to take over, and he left me in a great situation with a lot of good players. So we kept the tradition going of winning there, and was lucky enough to get the job here a couple years later.
Now, you're not only the men's head coach, but you're also the director of golf. What all does that entail for you?
Well, it's just one of those things where making sure our facility's in good shape, and we're in the construction phase of our building and all those things, and it's just a lot of little behind the scenes things. Nothing sort of written down. It's just stuff I think I was already doing as when I was coaching both teams. But it's been kind of nice, and having our women's team play so well after me stepping away a couple years ago, and that's been nice to see that as well, and be there anytime they need anything, which has been few and far between, thankfully, because they've played so well. But it's not a big thing. Help out John Hartwell with anything he needs from me, and anybody in the athletic department from that standpoint. But just making sure that both teams have what they need to succeed, hopefully.
And speaking of the new facility, y'all are currently in the process of having a new facility. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Well, we've got the land. It's been done for a year, and it's incredible. The guys basically say that that's the reason we're getting better. I keep pushing, hey, you guys are pretty talented too, but they feel like that with us getting that, it gives us a place that other teams don't have to prepare. We're able to get ready for tournaments in a different manner than most teams. The other team in our conference that has a similar facility is Georgia Southern, and it's kind of funny. We're both the best two ranked teams in our conference. But we're building the building right now. The roof is going on currently, and it's been awesome watching that. The guys are out there practicing. They get to see that building come to be in front of their eyes, and it's going to be nice, having a new home for us since the pro shop, was torn down when we built a new arena, and a new hopefully era of Troy Trojan golf, but with the same thing of knowing that we've got a big tradition that we've got to uphold. From when the old pro shop and the old 9-hole golf course was here when it was Troy State University.
And now you're the men's head coach, and you've been for 2 years. How has that been?
It's been interesting. A lot more time to be with the guys. Think about things. I got more time on my hands basically to look at players, recruit, and just be able to focus on 9 guys has been extremely nice. And for me, my mental side, it's been tough not being with the ladies because the seniors were with this big nice class we had, and it's been tough not going on the road with them and seeing them succeed personally. But just like yesterday, the girls won, and I'm hitting the refresh button on my phone, watching live scoring, pulling for them, pump for them, and pump for Bart, our women's coach, and seeing him grow as a coach has been awesome. And just being able to do that, the ladies know who their coach is, and then there's no fighting for attention, with me or anything like that. And that's been kind of nice, I think, for both teams. I don't want them to ever say that, but it's I think you've seen both teams. The women won conference last year. The guys, we dropped about 50 spots last year to 78 in the country at the end of the year. And I think it's been a lot of one-on-one time. We're able to be with the players and just be there for them. Be in the office for them and have that time that they can spend one-on-one with their coach. And that's been really nice.
And now you've been at Troy for 13 years. What have you learned while being, the director of golf and coach?
I've learned a great deal through failure. We've failed quite a bit since I've been here, and it's been disappointing on one hand, but it's made me a better coach and a better family man at home, and hopefully a better leader, of somewhat with the players. And we've made a lot of mistakes, which has been good, because you're going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes when you're kind of scrambling sometimes with players and different things. But it's been fun. It's been fun learning my trade. I thought I knew everything when I came from my junior college because we were the best team in the country, but I didn't know a thing. And I've learned a lot over 13 years. I feel like I'm a lot smarter. Coach, I've had the privilege of being around some great minds. Coach Blakeney, being here, Coach Maestri, a couple of legends, and now Coach Pierce. About to step down after this year, and it's been nice to be around those guys and get the advice and being able to sit around and talk to those guys, and just being around everyone here, from Chuck Ash to Richard Shaughnessy and Sandy Atkins, Tony Ferranti, just everybody within the athletic department. It's been nice seeing us all evolve because we've been here a long time together, and hopefully we've made each other better, and we're going to see a lot of championships in the future.
Now, you mentioned that your team was last year ranked 78th nationally at the end of the season. What did that mean to you as a coach?
Well, it was nice to see us get better. We got ourselves with 3 tournaments left on the bubble. We were the 64th ranked team in the country, and we were sitting there. Expectations were high. I think we got a little tight at the end of the year and played bad. And the guys recognized that. They recognized we played poorly, and we were at the end of the year. Hey, it was a pretty good year. We had a lot of good things to be thankful of, but we had mostly everybody back this year. So those guys went out and played extremely well this summer, and worked really hard, and came back ready to prove that wasn't a fluke and that they were going to be better. And we've shown that so far. We've played eight events, 6 finishes, 4th or better. That shows that these guys are extremely consistent on a lot of different golf courses, a lot of different times of the year, because you're not always going to have your best game, but how good are you when you're bad? And these guys are pretty darn good when they're bad.
And now this year you're 34 in the country. Can you talk a little bit about that?
It's nice to see that. It's nice to almost get the little pats on the back every now and then, especially from your peers. My fellow coaches out there. I know the #1 team in the country, Florida State, they're coaching our good friends, and it's kind of nice when we're at his event and he pulls me to the side and recognizes how good we are. And I got other coaches when we're playing with them, Florida, Virginia, looking at our team saying, man, you guys are really good. And I don't know, a little bit of it's complimentary. I think a little bit of it, they know that we're there now, and we're going to challenge them and try to continue to improve and get ourselves inside the top 25.
Now, was this ranking a goal at the beginning of the season for your team?
Our biggest goal, we set the goal last year, and it's continued to be the same goal. These guys want to get better every day, and they learn from failure. But they wanted to get an at-large bid to regionals without having to win conference, and that is huge. It's hard, very, very hard to do. First, you have to have the schedule, and you have to play that schedule, and you have to play well in that schedule to be able to get ranked to where you're inside that number at the end of the year, and the NCAA committee gives you the nod to say, hey, you didn't win conference, but you're still going. And it's very tough for a mid-major school to get that, and the guys are inside that number, well inside that number now. And it's exciting to know that postseason's right there, and we'll be able to play after conference. And I want to, I want these guys to get to see it. We've got seniors on the team that have been working really hard that signed here knowing that that's what they wanted to do personally, and that was their goal. And they wanted to see the facility built, and they got to see that. Everything's happened that Troy University's told them that would happen, and they've stepped up and they've played, and it's been awesome. And the new guys, the sophomores, have been great. Everybody, the whole team has done a really good job.
Now, the Sun Belt Conference tournament is coming up. How is your team preparing for that?
We've got one more event this weekend. We leave for Old Waverly, Mississippi State, a course that the guys really like. It's a good, strong field. We get to see an in-state rival at UAB that's coming off a victory at Stanford, ranked 32nd in the country. South Alabama will be there, and so will Lafayette. So, it's a strong field. We need to go there and play well, focus on that right now. And, they know Sandestin, where we're going to play the Raven. It's close. It's going to feel a bit like a home event for us. We went down in the fall and played there, and the guys really like the golf course. And, I'm sure they feel in the back of their minds like they have an advantage because they went and played. And, when we're done on Tuesday of next week, then we'll start focusing in the next 10 days on getting ready for that golf course and preparing for things and all that stuff. So when we get there and get ready to play, they can just play. There's no guessing about anything we do.
Okay, Coach, and now I have some fun questions to kind of get to know you a little better. Okay. So first off, what is your favorite food?
Quite a few things, but I enjoy steak. It's if I can have a good piece of meat, it's really good.
Always That's a good choice. What's your favorite music?
Music, country.
And do you make your players listen to that before getting ready?
No, they can listen to anything they want to. They'll tell you that I listen to a lot of different things. I listen to heavy metal and everything else, but I try to listen to country as much as I can because it kind of calms me down. Probably puts me in a better mood to be around those guys, and they listen to just about anything from Billy Joel to everything else. I mean, I got guys in the van listening to everything, and the good thing is with the phones and everything now and Pandora, they can throw their headphones on and kind of get themselves ready. Because that is part of it, getting a little mojo going inside yourself and, getting your own juices flowing. And I do the same thing as a coach. I try to be calm the whole time, so I'm kind of listening to a little slower, softer stuff, just so I'm not, out there, in a bad mood.
And now what about your favorite movie?
Tombstone. There's nothing like watching that movie over and over and over. I could watch it all day. Val Kilmer, I'm your Huckleberry. I love that. And it was something that I enjoyed in college and still my favorite one.
The last book you read?
Probably about halfway through it, but it's Thriving on Chaos. It's a little bit of a different book. It just, the economy, things going wild around you, all that stuff. Just how to, as I get older, trying to be a little smarter about who I am.
And what do you do in your spare time, or do you even have spare time?
Oh, I've got some. We've got 3 kids, my wife and I do, and they all, are active in sports and try to get to go watch them as much as possible. I would like to start playing golf a little bit more again, but, the player stuff comes first, and just want to be around my children as much as I can and my wife. That's been one of the nice things about only coaching one team as well, is get to see them more often. I've gotten to see my oldest play high school ball, and that's always fun to me.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for joining me today. I wish you the best of luck in the rest of your season. Hopefully y'all can keep moving up in the rankings.
Thank you.
Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now. We'll have a preview of what's coming up in Troy Athletics.